Hey everyone, it's Gretchen here. I'm going to show you what you can do with some leftover chicken. So last night I baked in this pan a roaster, and that is what's left over. It is still on the bone. And you can see overnight how the butter and fat congealed. So I put half of that in my pan, and then half, I'm just going to throw the other half away. But it's just butter and fats. So now I have my roaster in my pan. I'm going to put some water in there and boil it so I can take the remaining meat off the bones and make my chicken and dumplings. So you can see I've added water. Left a little bit of room because this is going to boil and I don't want any splash over. And you just put it on the stove and heat it up. And you'll know, when you go to like stick a fork in the water and the meat comes off, you know it's done. You can let it cool. So what you want to do now is cook that and then turn it off and let it cool. So give yourself some time for that. Otherwise, you're going to be handling a very hot mess over there. And, you know, you just don't want to burn your hands. So we'll check back in when it's time to debone the bird. Okay, so the chicken is done and I've left it cool. And I prefer to use a glove so my fingers don't smell like chicken all day. But I'm just going to move the carcass over to a plate and just start pulling that meat off. See how fast and easy? It's still a little warm because it's been in the water. But you can see it comes right off the bone. This is a great way to get every little bit of meat. You don't waste it, then you know, don't feel bad about throwing money out the trash, especially poultry. In my house I was always taught to know that the animal sacrifices life for you to eat it, so you should respect it. So I try desperately never to waste meat and always look for a way to reuse, you know, get down to the bare bottom. See how quick that is going? And you can always cut that up into smaller chunks with a, you know, a knife or a pair of poultry shears or with your fingers. And also on the back too, you can grab all that meat on the back. So you can see it kind of falls apart as it was cooking. There's the other half of it. So what I'm going to do is continue to debone my bird, and then I'm going to strain my liquid to make sure I get out all the little, you know, bits of fat and any little pieces of bone that may have come off in the process of moving it. And then that will be my stock for my chicken and dumplings, and then I'll be adding my chicken back into my stock. And here's where I go ahead and then season it when I get it back into the pan. So we'll check back in at that, and then that's when we'll go ahead and make the gravy a little thick, and we'll get our dumplings done, and we'll get to eating. Okay, so I strained my chicken, and I put it back in the pan. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of beef or chicken broth. It's a little stronger than a bouillon cube. Just give it a little extra flavor. See, it's kind of pasty in there. Throw that in. And you don't want to do your dumplings until you're getting ready to eat, because otherwise they won't sit well. And your water has to be boiling too. So I also took some liquid and the chicken broth liquid and mixed it in my flour. That way I avoid lumps as I try to make my gravy. And that will thicken up. I'll wait for that to thicken before I add my Bisquick. You can use Bisquick or Jiffy Mix or whatever dumpling mix you use. Some people even make their own. You give that a quick stir. Pull it over. You can see what it's looking like, so I'm going to let that thicken before I add my dumplings. We'll check back in with that. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes since I put the flour in. Slowly getting there. So I'm going to continue and let that thicken while I make the Bisquick. Let me get you set back up. So for the dumplings, I'm just following package directions. Down there. And it asks for 2 cups of mix and 2/3 cup of milk until soft dough forms. So I have my mix and my milk. Let me finish stirring it up and we'll drop them in. Okay, so it does say drop into boiling stew or soup, and then you're going to reduce the heat. So it's going to do that. I know some like their biscuits or dumplings large, some like them small. We continue doing that. So I have my dumplings dropped in. I have it on low heat. It will cook on cover 10 minutes, and then I will go ahead and cover it and cook 10 minutes longer, and it'll be ready for serving. We'll check back. There's the finished dish. Chicken and dumplings made from leftover chicken. Thanks again for watching, guys, and have a great day. Bye.